1 the 10th of December 2019, the 11th of March 2020. This world is the virtual computer game. The population of the game is divided into players and NPCs, non-player characters, Lilliputians, zombies. The especially coolest players are named gods. In the game can be one player. The game can divide players into parallel worlds. Unused, invisible, by the player, areas of the world are usually exist in off status. NPCs, including world rulers. NPCs, presidents, masons, secret world rulers, have inadequate, unrealistic behavior and are not capable think normally so that the players can freely control them for their gaming enjoyment. Unknown, for the player, areas of the world can subsequently appear in front of the player, adapt for the player. In other appearance, as in Minecraft game, areas of the world are created for the needs of the player. For example, unknown for the player, a town in course of time may appear in front of the player in an absolutely other appearance, for example, with a smaller population and less developed infrastructure. Among the most known historical personalities, the players are, for example, if I'm not mistaken, Adam, Eve, the sun god Ra, Tutankhamun, Achilles, Hercules, Jesus Christ, Joanna d'Arc, pirate Henry Morgan, Hitler, Stalin, Annelies Michel. Virtual game situation corresponds to ordinary computer games. The player plays the game from the first person and encounters NPC personages, roughly speaking, as pixels on the monitor screen, managed by program code, or roughly speaking, the pixels on the player's screen are highlighted in different colors respectively to the program code. From films about the gaming virtuality of the world, can pay attention to the films The Matrix, The 13th Floor, Existence, Inception, The Faculty, I'm Legend. The virtual game on the player's screen can draw all anything contrary to the all laws of logic. For example, organize the whole world under the player's thoughts. For example, shoes, which in particular are large in various number in internet shops, are don't making in factories. They can be making there only for the look. They are drawn on a monitor screen or in shops by the alien game formulas, and all them can mirror the current actual situation in the game world. For example, films, clips, news and everything else can making respectively to the player's thoughts. For example, as in the Disney film about Hercules where his name began to be painted on all goods. Thus, the virtual game can realizing unlimitedly any fantasies of the player. The virtual game, which gives or controls the thoughts and emotions of the world's population, is pervert and presumably so will be always and is instructive character. Therefore, sometimes need to be more attentive and don't haste, think more about the situation or wait for a better variant from the virtual game, or maybe from a demon, and select quest actions, short, medium, long term, for example, which button to press or which way to ride. Actions in the game are performed automatically, if so set by the game. For example, speaking, teaching, making money, business, creativity. And for successful doing matters in the virtual game, in which the virtual game can be itself interested, the brain as an organ or knowledge too are not necessarily. The virtual game can exert pressure in thinking, for example, logical or emotional, forcing some actions, which are practically impossible to refuse. The significant method of control in the game is sending wishes, commands, simple words, or brain signals, to the virtual game, or maybe to a demon, or to the brain, or whomwhere to more like, better mentally so more prettily. In humans, this is known as prayer or mantra. These sending wishes can divided into 3 groups: obtaining an information, no, yes, close all, next, more calmly, I don't care, what is here and other, current action, no, yes, faster and other actions, healing, levitation, teleportation, aging off, rejuvenation and other requests to the virtual game. Or can practice and look for more convenient and effective words for yourself. At sending wishes considered persuasiveness of the sender, its number, and interests of the virtual game. In some cases, rude or polite words, for example, please, increase the effectiveness. Add this method, can consider the opinion of virtual game that can be esoterically read, decrypted, in thoughts, emotions, situations, poltergeists. In the real variant, this method represents manual sending of signals to the brain, which them receives, processes and, if everything is normal, can realize. And due to the virtuality of the world, these sending signals, wishes, can be realized super efficiently. And the virtual variant is sending wishes to the virtual game, which can also realize all anything. For example, with the words close all in thinking can occur absolute silence without thoughts and emotions for some time. For a longer duration of silence, usually probably need to repeat these words permanently. For stop smoking forever need in time of desire to smoke use the word no and desire will decrease, disappear or until begins automatic unstoppable smoking. However, the virtual game will consider the persuasiveness of wishful to don't smoking, increase the value of persuasiveness, which never decreases, and eventually subsequently will be more simply to stop smoking and all this will lead to stop smoking forever. For the medication, for example, of the heart, can periodically send to the virtual game a heart healing message, better more exactly to know the character of the damage. Thus, for recover the heart may need, for example, 20 years. For example, if repeat this word for several hours a day, it's probably approximately as meditation or mantra, or the virtual game can do it just like that in an instant. For don't watching television, can periodically use the word no. For example, every few seconds, or the words exit from here, and it set the sufficient persuasiveness. For example, after 20 minutes, the virtual game can switch to another task, or specify the task in yourself at once. For sexual intercourse or masturbation can use the words no. For exclude this action, more calmly, don't finish. The global policy of the world appropriately influenced to all parallel worlds. For example, if the USA has global political problems, then in the other parallel worlds the USA will also receive some problems. In the global policy need to organize the absolute excellence of the USA over the other states so that the USA 3 don't distracted by competitors, and in a stable situation engaged realization of the most effective virtual gaming processes. For example, as in the film Divergent, in an artificially destroyed world with a romantic post-apocalyptic atmosphere, the government organizes the interesting game situations, including world ones. For this, Russia needs to be completely neutralized as a competitor of the USA. In such the global policy, the USA should stand above all the states of the planet, and not Russia should, because the USA is more developed state, primarily in the area of computerization and programming, which is very important in the virtual game space in which Lilliputian governments are not capable to think, and there is no virtual game time to wait for Russia or give it a chance. Also need reduction of the population of the Earth to 1 billion people, and then to merge the states to the sizes of the USA. This information is recommended for mass dissemination for make civilization more effective, taking control above stupid fetid elites and governments, which are otherwise will never do anything adequate enough, because they are inadequate Lilliputians, fairy tale fools, as in the film Alice in Wonderland which, under the mask of modern leadership, are ideal idiots from the point of medicine's view, and presumably will be always the unreliable political system oriented primarily to inadequate destructive decisions, respectively to the dark traditions of the computer games. At disseminating this information by the planet, the population of the planet can demand from the elites and governments to increase the comfort of the life by reason of the existence in the virtual reality,